the Republicans are negotiating within themselves how they're going to go about taking money, low-income Americans, older Americans, Americans who want to fight climate change. I mean, the list goes on, to give money to wealthy people. The upward redistribution bill is winding its way through the Republican House. This is their plan to save money on the SNAP program, which is the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. That is, in other words, a couple $100 a month to provide money, or I should say coupons to people to be able to buy food. And they figured out an interesting place. There are a lot of apparently freeloaders who are trying to get access to SNAP benefits. The House Agricultural Committee proposal would, A, restrict future increases to SNAP benefits that outpace inflation and would narrow the ability of states to waive work requirements during periods of high unemployment. So in other words, when we have a financial crisis like we did in 2008, or when COVID happens, states can get a waiver to expand their SNAP rolls. It is called an automatic stabilizer. Because it kicks in without having to have new legislation, essentially, as it exists now, in the event that there's some type of major economic crisis and people can't eat.
Like 2008.
Like 2008 or COVID.
COVID, yeah.
And so they want to inhibit that ability for states to get that automatic increase in an economic stabilizer. And then the other one is that, as it is now, you must work 80 hours if you do not have a child or a disability, 80 hours per month up to the age of 54 to be eligible for SNAP benefits. Now, I mean, presumably, part of the reason why you might need food assistance is because you don't have work. Yes. But we just don't want any freeloaders getting, a couple of bucks of free food a week. And now they want to hike that limit from 54 up to age 64. Now, I want you to contemplate this. If you have anybody who you know that is about my age, actually a couple years younger, if they lose their job, let's say during a financial crisis or during COVID or just in general, it is very difficult for people to find another job. That's just the case, and particularly during times of crisis. So you're taking away the economic stabilizer aspect of SNAP. And then you're also saying that people who are in the probably most difficult 10 years of their life to find work, they can't get food assistance unless they work 20 hours a week.
And from an economic standpoint, you're also telling the grocery stores you're not getting food that would feed those people.
Yep.
Well, there's already all those restrictions on whether it can be hot or cold. I mean, that's crazy in and of itself. But this is also the same cohort of people who are most affected by Trump's tariffs. Not of course, it's the lower income that you are. It's a regressive. It functions as a regressive tax. So I'm not talking about an economic cohort, an age cohort. This is the same age cohort that was most affected by the financial crash of 2008 in many ways with their retirement plans, because it doesn't have if you have a 401k or if you have a pension plan that's tied up in, I don't know, some of these other risky stocks, it doesn't have the capacity to dip back up and regain its value in time for you to retire. So this is a double whammy for this particular age group.
Oh, it's horrible. I mean, it's sick. It's twisted. But gotta get those tax cuts for wealthy people. Hey, folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out our daily show. We do it every day at 12 p.m. Eastern for about 2.5 hours. We even take phone calls. You should check that out.